We're currently sitting in the entrance of IdeaSquare in front of what will become the forge. There's been a few changes since the last time we were sitting inside of that room.
And we're sitting out here because the room is currently full of renovations and there's a little smell, making interviewing in the space a little difficult. But we wanted to give everyone a bit of an update, so here we are. So far, pretty brilliantly. We've got all of the cabinetry built, all of our tables installed, our modular peg wall has been installed and painted the final colour. After our previous interview before the project started, we found that the panels that we ordered ended up coming the wrong colour, so we've had to paint those to be a nicer space that will match the rest of the aesthetic. This week we are finishing the wood and moving and installing the last of the cabinetry doors, and then we'll be ready to move into the forge.
And the machine shop is also coming together quite well, and the hallway where we will put the resin printers. So it's a lot of cleaning, throwing away stuff, reorganizing. It can be quite overwhelming at times, but we're slowly getting through everything. And also the 3D studio upstairs is getting an upgrade so that it can become Johan's new office, and also installing some fans. So that is also moving along.
The major bump on the road was getting our machine panels that we needed to order with fire rating on them arrive, and then being a very wonderful, totally not what we were told they would be, all the photos yellow, that threw up our entire aesthetic. So in a bit of a mad scramble, we've had to pick a paint colour and paint over those panels. Thankfully it's ended up being quite a nice addition to the space, and it's ended up giving an extra layer of colour and depth and interest, I think, which if it had come arrived we wouldn't have. We would just continue with the old wood finish. So I personally am very happy with how it's come out.
Yeah.
Maybe me messing up my knee has been a bit of a setback, but other than that, I can't think too much, I think.
No. Yes, the guys from SC that has been helping us out has been absolutely incredible. They're magicians when it comes to building things. Yeah.
I think we've been running very consistently on time just because the amount of work that we get done in a day has been phenomenal. They're incredible craftsmen. I think the extra nice surprise about it is the fact that they've taken on the project almost as theirs. Like, they're very proud of the space that they've taken and gone, this is really cool, we really enjoy working here, people are really lovely, so they kind of gone this extra mile and put this extra love and ideation that every time something comes up that isn't right, they don't just go over it, they just really find a solution that we didn't even think of and implement it the same day to make it just work. Freedom. That's what I like about it. Flexibility. The expectation is that we get the space built, but how we go about that and the time that we take to do that, as long as it gets built before our end date and colleagues, we are able to handle how we like. We don't have people breathing down our necks. We're able to just look into it how we need to do it. There's also a real creative freedom here. I'm quite a new designer, fresh out of the university. To be given this level of creative control over a project, this fresh out of a degree, is a little unheard of. So the trust that's put into us here to be able to, and me to be able to design and create all the finishes and colours is incredible. And most importantly, the best bit about working here is my co-conspirator, supervisor Dina. We would have been dead in the water if he hadn't come in and solved all of the bureaucracy and ordering and all those extra layers that come once the pretty pictures are drawn. The actual pulling together is really not loud.
The table?
Yeah, in the workshop, the central one.
Yeah.
that one? Or you think
Yeah, the center one.
yeah. It ended up being narrower than we were expecting. Is that pretty great?
Narrower?
Well, we're putting two next to each other. Is that what you're referring to?
No, this table.
Oh, this table.
The height.
Oh! Yeah, the height. Whoops, my bad. I inadvertently designed the table a little too low, so I had to raise it up from the original design plans. And a lot of the thicknesses and wood and stuff we had to sort of bulk out to make sure things were strong enough.
Any other things?
Oh, the cabinet doors. Yeah, we put all the cabinet doors on, and then we had to change wood thicknesses. And during the orders, the height, the actual cabinet doors wasn't adjusted properly, so they're a bit short. But we've ended up turning that into like a hand grab feature, so the doors won't be flush doors with a handle mounted on them. They're actually going to be a little low, and there's going to be a couple centimetre gap that you can kind of get your fingers into it and pull open, which is a slightly different aesthetic.
Yes. So in my mind, the space will be full of students. When we have student groups here, they will have plenty of space to build their prototypes and ideate. And then I can also envision using the space for trainings and, for example, for our weekly meetings.
I sadly won't be here to see the space be used. I have to go back to Australia before it'll be properly utilised. But I definitely have hopes that it'll be full of creativity and I hope that the space within people will be a very, very inspiring place. People walk into to just want to make things and want to create things. From like making your own design perspective, we've designed modularity into the design and the layout of the space and the inboard that we're using, so that here at IdeaSquare we have shorter term projects. No one is at IdeaSquare, especially in a prototyping role, for 10 years. You've been here for maybe 2-3 years by the time you finish. 3 years by the time you finish up. 6 months. And then before us, there are people most at 2-year contracts. So when we were designing the space and creating the infrastructure, we hoped to create a bit of more of a feel of custodianship as opposed to ownership, so that when we leave, the next person can come in and they can change how the layout on the walls are to fit their workflow. We hope that just the fact that it's very natural and very sort of neutral in its colours and things, people will be able to fill it with their ideas and their concepts.
Cleaning, reorganizing.
Oh, we pulled it all out. Concluded with that junk. It was 10 years of random bits and bobs in there that have just been collected, and then we have done a major reorganisation of all the actual storage cabinets and drawers. We've moved the storage and workbenches from being on the walls, so all the storage on the walls and all the workbenches are now in the centre, to work within our idea of like consistent collaboration. I'm really excited to come through. I think it's really captured where we're feeling as we come to the end of this build and this renovation.
We need to just continue working on to get this thing too. But yeah, I'm confident we can do it and that it will turn out really good.